This is the park that we have visited so many times together, and I have a break between lectures in the morning, so we have this short excursions. It's pretty cold. I like this snow clouds, and let me be careful on the steps. Hello guys, my name is Anna and I'm from Ukraine, and I vlog daily to keep you updated on the real life situation in my country during this awful war with Russia. And today is one of the first day of snow. In November it often snows in Ukraine, and I don't know how to describe my country and how to describe the winter, because for many it associates with really severe winters, but of course it's not the way it is in some northern countries or in Siberia. Traditionally, we have lots of frosty days, snow and slippery roads in winter in Ukraine, but I cannot say it's -20 or something. A typical low temperature will be like -1, -3, snow turning into slush, and we are still working on the improvement of cleaning the streets, because it is often lots of snow on the roads, on the sidewalks in Ukraine, and people can even get injured. This is a huge difference with Europe. When I travel there, I always notice how clean your roads are. We are still working on that. I always liked the first snow, even though I'm not a fan of winter, and you see my nose is turning red, but I have always felt joy when it is snowing, because you're approaching a festive season and everything looks very optimistic. But today I have a totally different attitude, because I think about millions of Ukrainians who don't have access to heat, who are soldiers in the trenches on the front lines, and how difficult it can be for them in frosty nights and days with all that snow. They have to change the camouflage and all of that stuff. So this is something I have never thought about, and perhaps you don't have to think about living in normal countries, because war is not normal and there is no place for war in the normal world. And I hope that after we stop Russia and Putin's regime, no more serious wars will appear, but I'm sure they will, because that's the way humans are. I will show you some sceneries of our park, because that's the place where I have taken you in summer and in autumn, and now winter comes, and maybe some reflections. So let's look at this first shy snow. In Ukraine we have lots of names for different kinds of snow. Well, perhaps, as linguists say, because it's important in our culture, but the most popular word for snow is sніг. Sніг. So today we have перший сніг, which is the first snow. And it's really thin, as you may see, and my arms getting red. And I like playing with snow. I don't know if snowballs are popular in your cultures, but I like it when it covers green grass and so on. So this is the park where we have been with you a number of times. I don't know how about your cultures, but in Ukraine and in many ex-Soviet countries, people are very much calendar focused. So we don't care about weather, but we care about the date. And spring comes on the 1st of March and winter will come on the 1st of December. So even if it is really frosty and snowy right now, it is still autumn, and we will say, oh, it started snowing in autumn. And then on the 1st of December we will have real winter, and some people even congratulate each other with the first day of winter, with the first day of spring, and so on. I don't know how about you. I am not a fan of winter. I'm more of a summer person, because let me describe perhaps the typical winter in Ukraine. It will get cold somewhere in the middle or in the end of November. Then December can be warm. It is always dark in the morning and early in the evening, and it's really difficult to work and to wake up. I can wake up at 7:30, for example, in the morning in summer, and my schedule allows me. But it's so difficult to wake up early in winter, because when you wake up at 7 or earlier, it's very dark. And we always celebrate the 22nd of December when the sun turns to summer. And we also feel sad on the 22nd of June when it is still the beginning of summer, but the sun turns to the winter direction. We also switch time. I don't know if you do that, but we have winter time and summer time. And on the last Saturday, this October, we switched to winter time, which means we had 9 p.m. and then we have 8 p.m. We put our time back, and in summer we put our time forward so that we have more time to sleep or less time to sleep, and in winter it's more time to sleep. Also, in different places in Ukraine, there are special tents where people can spend some time and warm themselves up. Also, taking into account that now there are lots of homeless people in Ukraine, lots of refugees, they can get warm tea, they can get support. And in general, winter is the time where we have to be more kind to each other because it's cold outside, so it has to be cold inside. The problem is that we can have problems with water, with gas, with electricity, and many of us rely on these supplies when heating the houses. And there are lots of advice that we receive from everywhere, and Ukrainians are pretty careful about that. So hopefully we will survive this winter, and it's really important because it can bring us victory, and maybe apart from Christmas and other beautiful things, we will celebrate our victory, because winter is difficult not only for Ukrainian soldiers who are still well supplied and supported by the citizens of Ukraine. It is also problematic for Russian orcs who are not welcome and who are not well supplied, and I think they won't be able to survive this winter in Ukraine. Ask me your questions. Maybe there is something you want to know more about our climate, about our winter traditions, and how do we feel about all that. Also, I will show you my university and the monument of Taras Shevchenko in snow. I'm a girl, I had to show you my boots. But here is the monument covered with snow and a flag and a fountain and Stalin's architecture, because our central Volley Prospect is built in a Stalin style during that period of time, and Taras Shevchenko. Also, at the backyard of the university we have such bird feeders. I don't know if you have similar. This one is made of wood, and a titbird is very popular during winter time in Ukraine. They are blue and yellow, and they like eating pork bacon. That's why they seem like Ukrainians very much. Well, I'm not a winter person, so I'm running to buy myself a cup of tea. Thank you for buying me coffee. I will traditionally buy myself tea for the money you send on coffee, because I'm more of a tea person. And thank you for becoming my patrons, and most importantly for watching and taking care of the things in Ukraine. Let me know if you had your first snow, and do you have it in your climate? What would you like to know? I'm always glad to answer your questions and to clarify some aspects from our history, culture. And you see, people, students perhaps are escaping from lectures. I have to come back because I still have one lecture today. Slava Ukraini!